Ladies and gentlemen, have you ever noticed that people will always find a way to frustrate you? Someone cuts you off in traffic and suddenly your whole day is ruined. A friend betrays you and you can't sleep at night. A coworker offends you and you carry that bitterness for weeks. But today I want to show you how to live in complete peace. How to never get angry or bothered with anyone. Because the truth is, anger is not a reaction. It's a decision. And once you understand the principles I'm about to share, you'll never let anyone control your emotions again. Ladies and gentlemen, I want you to understand something powerful today. No one in this world has the ability to control your emotions unless you give them permission. Think about that for a moment. Many of us live as if our emotions are at the mercy of other people. Someone says something negative, and suddenly, we're angry. Example, someone ignores us and we feel rejected. A driver cuts us off in traffic and we lose our peace for the rest of the day. But let me ask you, who is really in control of your emotions? Is it you or is it the people around you? The truth is, your emotions are not reactions, they are decisions. You decide whether to get angry, you decide whether to be upset, you decide whether to let something bother you. The problem is that most people live like thermometers instead of thermostats. A thermometer only reacts to the temperature around it. If it's hot, the thermometer rises. If it's cold, the thermometer drops. But a thermostat doesn't react, it sets the temperature. A thermostat controls the environment instead of being controlled by it. In life, you must decide to be a thermostat, not a thermometer. Mitchell Eck. Now, some of you may say, but I can't help it. When people insult me, it hurts. When someone does me wrong, I have to respond. But listen carefully. People do not have the power to inject emotions into your heart. They can only present an opportunity. And it is you who decides how to respond. No one can pour anger into you. No one can plant bitterness inside you. If those things are growing in your heart, it is because you have allowed them to take root. Let me give you an example. Imagine two people are walking through a marketplace, and suddenly a man insults both of them. The first person gets furious, he shouts back, demands an apology, and walks away angry. But the second person hears the same insult, smiles, and keeps walking as if nothing happened. Now, my question to you is this. Did the insult have power, or did the people give it power? And is that your own perception? You see, the insult was the same, but the reaction was different. Why? Because one person chose to be offended while the other chose peace. This is proof that your emotions are your responsibility. Many of us have been conditioned to believe that our feelings are automatic. If someone disrespects me, I must feel disrespected. If someone betrays me, I must feel broken. But that is not true. Your emotions follow your thoughts, and your thoughts are shaped by your beliefs. If you believe that people's words have power over you, then you will always be a prisoner to their opinions. But if you believe that you alone decide how you feel, then no one can rob you of your peace. Now, let's talk about what happens when you let people control your emotions. The moment someone upsets you and you respond with anger, you have given them control over your day. When someone offends you and you carry it in your heart for weeks, you have placed your happiness in their hands. And when you let someone's negativity turn into your negativity, you have allowed their weakness to become your weakness. Is that the kind of life you want to live? A life where your peace is determined by the actions of others? Or do you want to walk in the kind of freedom where nothing and no one can disturb your inner joy? You see, true power is not in controlling others. It is in mastering yourself. A strong person is not one who can shout the loudest, but one who remains calm when others lose control. A wise person is not one who wins arguments, but one who refuses to argue over foolish things. And a person of peace is not one who avoids conflict, but one who does not allow conflict to live within them. So, how do you take back control of your emotions? The first step is to recognize that you are in charge of how you feel. Stop blaming people, stop blaming circumstances, and start taking responsibility. The second step is to train yourself to pause before reacting. When something upsets you, don't respond immediately. Take a breath, step back, and ask yourself, is this worth my peace? Most of the time, you will realize that the answer is no. And the third step is to remind yourself daily that your joy is too valuable to be placed in the hands of people who do not care about your well-being. There will always be people who try to frustrate you. There will always be situations that test your patience. But when you decide that nothing is worth your peace, you will walk through life with a calmness that cannot be shaken. And that, my friends, is true freedom. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to ask you a simple but important question today. Who told you that you are not good enough? Who made you believe that you had to prove your worth to others? Too many people are living their lives controlled by the opinions of those who do not even understand their value. They spend their energy trying to please others, seeking approval, and worrying about what people think. But let me tell you something. Your value is not determined by other people's opinions. Never has been, and it never will be. Think about this. A diamond remains a diamond, whether it is found in the dirt or displayed in a jewelry store. Whether people admire it or walk past it without noticing, its value does not change. Why? Because its worth was established long before anyone ever laid eyes on it. And the same is true for you. You were created with purpose, with potential, and with greatness inside of you. But the problem is, too many of us spend our lives allowing the words of others to define us. Someone criticizes us, and we shrink back. Someone rejects us, and we start doubting ourselves. But if you truly understood who you are, you would stop letting people's words affect you. You see, people's opinions are unstable. One day they love you, the next day they forget about you. One moment they celebrate you, the next moment they criticize you. If your sense of worth is based on what others think, you will live a life of emotional instability, always up and down, always seeking validation, always afraid of rejection. But when you realize that your value is set by your Creator, then no insult, no rejection, and no betrayal can shake you. I want you to think about how much time and energy people waste trying to prove themselves to others. They buy things they don't need, trying to impress people who don't even care. They live their lives seeking applause, only to find out that the same people clapping today will be silent tomorrow. Let me tell you the truth. When you stop seeking validation from people, you will find peace. When you no longer depend on others to tell you that you are valuable, you will walk with confidence. When you truly know your worth, you will not be shaken by criticism, and you will not be moved by rejection. Now, I know what some of you may be thinking. But what if people don't like me? What if they misunderstand me? What if they don't appreciate what I bring to the table? Let me answer that with another question. Does it really matter? You were not created to live for people's approval. You were not designed to be controlled by opinions. If someone does not see your worth, that is their loss, not yours. A person's inability to recognize your value does not decrease your value. If a blind man walks past a beautiful painting and never acknowledges it, does that make the painting any less beautiful? No. It simply means he does not have the ability to see it. And that is why you must stop waiting for people to approve of you before you start believing in yourself. Some of you have been holding back on your dreams because you're afraid of what people will say. Some of you have allowed rejection to define you, and now you walk with insecurity. But I am here to tell you, it is time to break free from that. It is time to stop seeking validation from people who don't hold your destiny. It is time to start living in the confidence of knowing that your worth is already established. I want you to imagine living a life where you are no longer affected by what people think of you. A life where insults no longer bother you, where rejection no longer shakes you, where criticism no longer controls your emotions. Life is close where I have come to. Life and controls over your mind. That kind of life is possible when you understand that your value is not up for debate. It is not based on how many friends you have, how many compliments you receive, or how many people approve of you. Your value is set, and nothing anyone says or does can change it. So starting today, I want you to make a decision. Never again will you allow someone's opinion to determine how you see yourself. Never again will you let criticism lower your confidence. Never again will you live for approval. Walk in the truth of your worth, and nothing will be able to shake you. Life is full of moments that will test your patience, challenge your emotions, and present opportunities for offense. People will say things that hurt. They will act in ways that disappoint. Some will betray your trust, while others will ignore your kindness. But here is the truth. You cannot control what others do, but you can control how you respond. Offense is inevitable, but being offended is a choice. Every single day we encounter situations that could make us angry. A friend forgets to call us back. A coworker speaks to us with disrespect. Someone spreads false rumors about us. And immediately our emotions rise and we feel justified in being upset. But I want you to ask yourself, is it worth my peace? Too many people are living in constant frustration because they allow every offense to take root in their hearts. They hold on to words that should have been forgotten. They replay past hurts over and over again in their minds. They carry grudges for years, only to realize that the people who hurt them have moved on while they remain trapped in bitterness. The problem is not that offense comes. The problem is that we embrace it. We allow it to sit in our minds and grow into resentment. But here is something you need to understand. Offense is like a seed. If you plant it in your heart, it will grow into bitterness. If you water it with negative thoughts, it will turn into anger. And before you know it, your entire life will be shaped by wounds that should have healed a long time ago. But today I want to challenge you. Stop giving offense a home in your heart. Just because someone presents an opportunity for offense does not mean you have to accept it. Think about it this way. If someone knocks on your door with a box full of garbage and says, "Here, this is for you," do you take it into your house and place it in your living room? No. You shut the door and refuse to accept it. Yet when people come with words of offense, we open the door of our hearts and let them in. We replay the moment in our minds, we talk about it with others, and we allow it to steal our peace. But just like you have the power to reject a box of garbage, you have the power to reject offense. You don't have to accept everything people throw at you. Some of you have been carrying offense for too long. You are still angry about things that happened years ago. You are still holding on to words that should have been left in the past. And yet the people who offended you are going about their lives unaware that you are still hurting. The truth is, holding on to offense is like drinking poison and expecting the other person to suffer. You are not punishing them, you are punishing yourself. Let me ask you something. How much longer will you allow offense to control your emotions? How much longer will you give people power over your peace? Every day you wake up with bitterness, you are giving your offenders free rent in your mind. And that is why you must make a decision. I refuse to be offended. No matter what people say, no matter what they do, I will not allow anything to rob me of my peace. But some of you may be thinking, what if the offense is real? What if they truly did me wrong? Is this something that makes us wrong? And I understand some offenses cut deep. Some wounds are not easy to forget. But I want you to remember this. Letting go of offense does not mean what they did was right. It does not mean you were not hurt. It simply means you are choosing to live free Because when you refuse to be offended, you are no longer a prisoner to what happened. Imagine living a life where nothing offends you, where you walk in a room and no matter what people say, you remain at peace, where insults do not shake you and criticism does not disturb you. That kind of life is possible when you understand that offense is a choice. And today, I encourage you, choose peace over offense. Choose freedom over bitterness. Choose to let go and move forward. Because your destiny is too important to be delayed by unnecessary offenses. There is a truth that many people struggle to accept, yet it is one of the most powerful keys to living a life free from anger and frustration. Forgiveness is for your peace, not their benefit. Too often we hold on to offenses, thinking that our bitterness somehow punishes the person who wronged us. We replay the hurt in our minds, relive the pain, and allow resentment to take root in our hearts. But let me tell you something. The person who suffers the most from unforgiveness is not the offender, it is you. When someone wrongs you, the natural reaction is to hold on to the offense. You feel justified in your anger because what they did was unfair, disrespectful, or even cruel. You tell yourself that they don't deserve your forgiveness, or maybe they don't. But here is what you need to understand. Forgiveness is not about them. It is about you. It is about protecting your peace, freeing your heart, and refusing to let the actions of others control your emotions. Many people walk through life carrying the weight of past offenses. They are angry at their parents for what they did or did not do. They are bitter toward an old friend who betrayed them. They are still holding on to words spoken years ago, and yet the people who hurt them have moved on while they remain prisoners of their own resentment. The truth is, unforgiveness does not trap the person who hurt you. It traps you. It keeps you tied to the pain, locked in the past, and unable to fully embrace your future. Think about it this way. Carrying unforgiveness is like walking around with a heavy backpack filled with rocks. Every time someone offends you, you pick up another rock and place it in your bag. At first, it may not seem like a big deal, but over time, the weight becomes unbearable. And the sad part, the person who offended you is not the one carrying the weight, you are. While you struggle under the burden of resentment, they are going about their lives, unaware of the pain you are holding on to. But here is the good news. You have the power to put the backpack down. You have the choice to let go of the weight and walk in freedom. Some people believe that forgiving means excusing what was done to them. But forgiveness is not saying that what happened was right. It is not pretending that the pain wasn't real. It is simply deciding that you will no longer allow that pain to control you. Forgiveness is not about forgetting, it is about releasing. It is about saying, I choose peace over pain. I choose my future over my past. I choose freedom over bitterness. Now, I know that forgiveness is not always easy. Some offenses cut deep, some wounds take time to heal. But let me remind you of this. Holding on to forgiveness is like drinking poison and expecting the other person to suffer. It does nothing to them, but it destroys you from the inside. It steals your joy, poisons your relationships, and keeps you bound to the very thing you want to escape. And let's be honest, people will hurt you. That is a guarantee. Friends will disappoint you. Family members will let you down. Strangers will treat you unfairly. But you must decide in advance that nothing and no one is worth your peace. Forgiveness is not about them asking for it. It is not about them deserving it. It is about you deciding that you will not allow bitterness to take root in your heart. Imagine waking up every day with a heart that is free from anger, free from grudges, free from the burden of past hurts. Imagine living a life where no offense can hold you captive, where no betrayal can steal your joy. That kind of life is possible when you understand that forgiveness is the key to true peace. So today I challenge you, release the weight, Let go of the grudge. Choose to forgive, not because they deserve it, but because you deserve to be free. Every day, we are surrounded by negativity. It comes in different forms: criticism, conflicts, disappointments, and even unexpected challenges. People will say things that discourage you. Situations will arise that frustrate you. Circumstances will not always go your way. But here's what you must understand. You do not have to waste your energy on negativity. Too many people allow distractions to pull them away from their purpose. They get caught up in petty arguments, consumed by the opinions of others, and drained by things that do not add value to their lives. But the secret to maintaining your peace is simple. Stay focused on your purpose. Think about an eagle. When a storm comes, other birds panic and try to find shelter, but not the eagle. It spreads its wings and uses the storm to rise higher. The wind that others fear is the same wind that lifts the eagle above the chaos. And that is how you must live your life. Challenges will come. People will talk. Disappointments will happen. But instead of getting distracted, instead of engaging in every argument or reacting to every offense, you must rise above it. Do not allow anything to pull you down from your place of purpose. Many people are exhausted, not because life is hard, but because they are fighting battles that are not worth their time. They argue with people who will never change. They try to prove themselves to those who will never appreciate them. They position themselves to defend their agendas. They spend their energy worrying about what others think instead of focusing on what truly matters. But let me ask you, if something does not help you grow, if it does not bring peace to your life, if it does not align with your destiny, why give it your energy? Not everything deserves your attention. Not every insult needs a response. Not every conflict requires your involvement. If someone is negative, let them be negative. If someone is trying to provoke you, let them talk. If someone is spreading lies about you, keep walking. Your purpose is too important to be delayed by distractions. Imagine a runner in a race. The moment they start looking at the people in the crowd or arguing with other runners, they lose focus and slow down. The same happens in life. The more you focus on negativity, the more distracted you become. And the more distracted you become, the further you move away from where you are meant to be. But when you learn to ignore the noise, when you learn to stay locked in on your goals, nothing and no one can stop you. Now, I'm not saying that challenges will disappear. People will still misunderstand you. Problems will still arise. But when you develop the discipline to focus on your purpose, you will not be easily shaken. Instead of reacting emotionally, you will respond with wisdom. Instead of engaging in unnecessary battles, you will choose to walk away. Instead of wasting time on things that do not matter, you will invest your energy in things that push you forward. Too many people allow their emotions to dictate their decisions. They hear one negative comment and suddenly their entire day is ruined. They experience one setback and they feel like giving up. But you must remember, your emotions should follow your purpose, not the other way around. Your peace is too valuable to be placed in the hands of negative people. Your energy is too precious to be wasted on things that do not contribute to your growth. You must learn the power of silence. Not every battle is worth fighting. Not every situation deserves a reaction. Sometimes the strongest move is to walk away. And sometimes the greatest proof of wisdom is the ability to remain calm in the face of provocation. So I ask you today, where is your energy going? Are you wasting it on negativity, or are you investing it in your purpose? Are you reacting to distractions, or are you focused on what truly matters? Your future depends on your ability to stay focused. During the present conflict, do not let anything or anyone pull you away from your destiny. Walk in wisdom, guard your peace, and keep your eyes on your purpose. Because when you do, nothing will be able to stop you. Life is too short to be spent in frustration. Too many people wake up every day carrying the weight of yesterday, offenses, disappointments, and conflicts that should have been left behind. They allow their peace to be stolen by things they cannot control, by people who do not matter, and by situations that have already passed. But there comes a time when you must make a decision. I will not let anything steal my joy. You have to decide that your happiness is too valuable to be placed in the hands of people, circumstances, or temporary challenges. Happiness is not something you wait for. It is something you choose. If you keep waiting for everything to be perfect before you allow yourself to be happy, you will be waiting forever. There will always be challenges. There will always be difficult people. There will always be things that try to frustrate you. But when you decide that nothing and no one will have the power to control your joy, you will walk through life with a new kind of freedom. Too often we allow small things to rob us of our peace. Someone cuts us off in traffic and we carry that frustration all day. A coworker makes a rude comment and we replay it over and over in our minds. A family member disappoints us and we allow it to affect our entire mood. But let me ask you, why give that much power to people and situations? Why allow something so small to dictate your happiness? If you can learn to let things go quickly, you will discover how much lighter life feels. There are people who are always looking for something to be upset about. If it is not one thing, it is another. They complain about the weather, they complain about their jobs, they complain about people. And the problem is not that life is unfair. The problem is their perspective. Because the truth is, no matter how difficult life gets, there is always something to be grateful for. The key is learning to focus on what is good instead of dwelling on what is bad. Gratitude is one of the greatest weapons against frustration. When you learn to count your blessings instead of your burdens, your entire outlook on life changes. Instead of focusing on who hurt you, focus on the people who love you. Instead of dwelling on what went wrong, focus on what is going right. Instead of being upset about what you don't have, be thankful for what you have. Gratitude shifts your focus from what is missing to what is present. And that shift is the difference between a life of joy and a life of frustration. Some people spend their entire lives chasing happiness. They think, if I can just get this promotion, then I will be happy. If I can just buy this house, then I will be happy. If I can just find the right person, then I will be happy. But true happiness does not come from things. It comes from within, because the moment you tie your happiness to external conditions, you will always be at the mercy of things you cannot control. But when your joy comes from within, nothing outside of you can take it away. Think about a tree planted by a river. No matter how hot the sun gets, no matter how dry the land becomes, that tree remains strong, because its roots are connected to a constant source of nourishment. That is how your joy should be, rooted in something deeper than circumstances. Rooted in peace, in gratitude, in purpose. Because when your joy comes from within, no storm, no criticism, and no setback can take it away. Let me challenge you today. Stop allowing temporary things to steal your permanent joy. Make up your mind that you will not let people's words affect you, that you will not let small inconveniences frustrate you, and that you will not let uncontrollable situations determine your mood. When you learn to master your emotions, you will walk in a level of peace that few people ever experience. Imagine waking up every day with an unshakable sense of peace, where nothing disturbs you, nothing moves you, and nothing robs you of your joy. That kind of life is possible when you make the decision to take control of your happiness. So starting today, refuse to be frustrated by small things, refuse to be controlled by circumstances, and refuse to let anything or anyone steal your joy, because your peace is far too valuable to give away. As we come to the end of this journey together, I want to leave you with a powerful reminder. You hold the keys to your peace and joy. No one can take them from you unless you give them away. The choice to live free from anger, frustration, and bitterness is yours, and it starts with a decision to focus on your purpose, to forgive, to rise above negativity, and to protect your happiness. Remember, the storms of life will come, but you have the power to rise above them, just like the eagle. Take control of your emotions, let go of past hurts, and embrace the peace that is waiting for you. Your worth is not defined by the opinions of others, and your happiness is not dependent on circumstances. You are equipped to handle whatever comes your way with strength, wisdom, and grace. I encourage you to go forward with a renewed sense of purpose, a heart full of peace, and a spirit unshaken by the world around you. Keep your focus on what matters, and know that you are more than capable of living the life you were destined for. Good luck as you walk this path of peace, and thank you for taking the time to listen and reflect. May your journey be one of growth, joy, and fulfillment. Thank you, and may you be blessed with the strength to live in the freedom of your own peace.